Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at ChicnScratch. This is the box we're making today, and the following video was filmed live. I've altered it slightly, but not very much, so feel free to fast forward. This is using box template 29, and you can find that over on my website along with all the measurements and everything. If you need anything, let me know. Thanks a lot. Okay, so this morning I posted Chick Candy 66 over on my website. To enter to win, you just head over there, preferably after the live video, and leave a comment. I always fail to say this, but I always draw the winner the following Monday. So right before I post Chick Candy 67, I will pull the winner for 66. And the way I do it, someone asked, how in the world would I do that with all the comments that are left? I just highlight all the comments and paste them right into a document. So I can't remember what number it was today that won. It was like 47 or something like that. And so when I copy it into a spreadsheet, it makes it really easy to just go right to that number. So that's how I do it. It took me a couple years to figure out a system that I didn't have to count every single comment, because you know, the phone rings or something right when you're on like 196, and then you got to start all over again. So that's how I draw the winner. I use random generator. And we are using this bundle tonight. So that's one of the reasons why I'm giving it away. I am using it tonight. And I've used this already a couple times. But now that Valentine is over, we can officially move on to something else. And I did several Easter projects, so we're going to go back and forth between Easter and birthday. Okay, so I'm going to give you the measurements, but I'm going to give you a little disclosure. This Daffodil Delight piece started out at 8 1/4 by 6. And I decided I want it at a hair smaller. You can start at 8 1/4 by 6. But once you make it, you may find that you want it to be a hair smaller. So it measures 5 15/16 by 8 3/16. And that's basically 1/8 of an inch smaller. Or no, 1/16 of an inch smaller. Yes, 1/16. Okay? So there's that one. I'm using different paper tonight than the one I made earlier today, so I may or may not like this one better, but I figure, you know what, I've already got one of the other, so let's use a different paper. The only catch is that our candles are going to be upside down on the back side. Same thing if we were going to use the ice cream. It's going to be upside down on the back side. I'm okay with the candles being upside down because it's kind of hard to tell what's right side up anyway. Okay, so that measures 11 by 4 1/4. Okay. Then we're going to be using the dies to cut out a koala and a toucan. And then I have some Whisper White for our stamping. And let's see, what do I want to do first? I think I'll go ahead and start with this piece here and then this one. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get my Simply Scored scoring tool. And I'm going to start with this one. Okay, so I'm going to score it at, let me make sure I'm in the camera. Yes, I'm in the camera. Okay, so I'm going to score this at 1 1/2. I'm looking at this because I'm like, man, this does not look right. It's not right. Maybe it is. Okay, so 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 4 1/2, 6 1/2, 8 1/2, and 9 1/2. Yeah, that's right. It just didn't look right. Okay, we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to get this piece. We're going to start on the landscape side, and we're going to score it at 2 inches on both sides, okay? Then on the portrait side, we're going to score it at 2 inches on both sides. But then we want to score at 1 3/4 only to this first score line. So that's wrong. Please nobody be making this at the same time as me. Not 1 3/4, 1 1/2, only to that first score line. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. So I don't know how to word this. So we're scoring 1/2 inch from the 2 inch. So that's 4 1/2, and we're only scoring to that score line. Does that make sense? Just ignore this mess up. And that's okay, it's not going to be shown. That's what's going to be folded in. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, okay? So score at 1 1/2 to that first score line, and score at 4 1/2 to that first score line. So that's how it's going to look, okay? That's why you have to do the landscape side first, okay? Okay, so I'm going to fold. Where's my bone folder? Okay, now we need to cut. Okay, so take it and place it on the landscape side, okay? And you're going to cut up to the score line on both sides. Okay, that's how it's going to look. Flip it over and do the exact same thing over here. This will be box template 29. Yeah, I'll be creating it tomorrow, typing it up. Okay, so now we've made those cuts. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut on that line. Okay? And then snip the left and the right side. That's how it's going to look. So we're going to do the same thing on this one. And now we're going to repeat that over here on this side. So fold that over. Whoops. And same thing over here. Now you see why I got a little confused. I was like, holy cow, where do I start? Where do I cut? It's that first cut that is the most important. Okay, so there's that part. Now let me get my tearing tape. So we're going to add it to these 4 tabs. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take your pick tool and remove the backing. This is a pretty deep box, but I figure if you're making a birthday treat or birthday box, I don't know about y'all. I usually give more for birthdays than I do for some of the other occasions, so I like the size of this box. Okay, so this box measures, it is almost 4 1/4, and it is almost 2 inches tall, and it is 2 inches wide, almost. Okay? Now we're going to work on this piece here. So we're going to fold on the score lines. I guess I could put this back over here. Oh, did you see him? Isn't he cute? Lane swerve there. So I'm just going to burnish these. It would be important for me to fold on the actual score line. Okay, did I fold on all of them? Yes, I did. Okay, so we're using lots of dies. So we're using the Bonanza dies, the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and the Layering Ovals dies. Now, if you have an oval punch from way back when we used to sell them, by all means use that because it's a whole lot easier. But since we don't have an oval punch in our catalog now, we have to use a die. So I'm going to get the Big Shot. And I'm going to cut an oval, preferably in the center of that section right there, okay? I think that looks pretty centered. So we want this hole to match up to the other side, but we can't bend our paper because it wouldn't work. So what we're going to do is put a little bit of adhesive on this right here. So I'm just going to take my removable adhesive. It doesn't have to be removable. It can be any adhesive, preferably not the wet stuff for this part. And so we're just going to line up the oval and then place this back in there. Make sure it's straight. It looks pretty good. And then now I'm going to cut the other side by lining that up. Okay? Hopefully I was in the camera. I didn't realize how close I was. Okay, let's see if that worked. Yep. Okay, now we're going to set this aside for just a minute. Since we've already got this out, let's go ahead and cut our animals. We're going to have to get it back out again because we need to stamp the party hats. But we can go ahead and cut the toucan. I got a notification from Facebook last week that a year ago I was in Aruba and it showed me all the pictures of Pepe, the cockatoo that I just fell in love with. Okay. Now we're going to cut the koala out. So move that over. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose my die. I lost something earlier today and I was like, holy cow, I need a keeper. It was right under my nose, which was crazy. Okay, koala. Hopefully that's straight. Okay. there he is. Here's this one and this. Okay, so we're gonna, let me get this out of my way. We're gonna stamp, we're gonna take Daffodil Delight. And because we're stamping with photopolymer, I'm gonna get my Stampin' mat and I'm gonna stamp the party hat with Daffodil. I'm going to take my Simply Chamois thing. And now I'm going to stamp with Pumpkin Pie. And then I'm going to take Memento. Okay, that's all the stamping that we're doing. Okay, so we're going to get the die cut machine out again. We're going to cut out that scallop rectangle. And then we're going to cut out the party hats. Yeah. Okay, so let me slide everything over again. Okay. That was way too much. That was way too much paper. It's these little ones that always give us the most trouble. Okay, come on, pretty please, with sugar on top. Hold on. I have my tape around here somewhere, don't I? Oh heck no, it's on the other side of the room. Okay, let's do this. We'll just do that in just a minute. We'll cut this one out. That'll give us a little bit more room to shift things around. Okay, so we need that. I don't want to lose my die, so I'm going to put that back up. Now I'm going to get this one. I'm being so particular because earlier when I did this, I was so cattywampus that I was like, well, that looks terrible. There's that one. Last one. Uh-oh. Okay, put this back. Holy cow. Put that back in the pocket. And then I'm going to take the classic label punch and cut this greeting out. It barely fits. That Y almost gets cut off, but that's okay. It fits. Barely counts. Okay, so we have all of our pieces now. Let's toss that. Okay, so we want to, oh, I got one more thing we need to do first. So we're going to do a little bit of coloring with our Daffodil Dark Stampin' Blend marker. So, come back here. Anything that we have that's white, whether it's ribbon, embellishments, whatever we have, you can color with our Stampin' Blends. So we're going to color one of these pom-poms with daffodil because we don't have the color daffodil. So I'm going to color that. And then these what is this called? From My Heart Faceted Gems. We're going to color 3 of those also with the daffodil blends. So I'm just going to get this out just to set this here because I have fumble fingers and things are going to go flying. So this little mat will help me keep things kind of sort of where I want them. Okay. So I'm just going to take the brush tip. So these are white. There's red, pink, and white. And so I'm coloring these. And maybe I'll color another big one. I might even wish I'd colored them another color like Bermuda Bay, but I don't know. We'll see. I have a bunch of these left over, so now I'm done with the From My Heart Faceted Gems, but now I got to color that little cotton ball. And it's not an easy thing for me to hold on to. So I'm going to take these little tweezers that one of my lovely people sent to me, and I'm just going to brush the ink on. And this is not going to be perfect. If you want perfect, told y'all they go flying. I lost one of these in my room today. I never did find it. I'm sure it rolled under something. And the reason I did this before we assembled the box is because I want to let those dry. And now I'm just going to slide them out of the way and give them a chance to dry. Okay, so hopefully I won't lose it in the box assembly process. So our box, this box is going to go inside here. Oh, we got one more step. The detailed trio punch. We want to round the corners of the top. So you don't have to round them if you don't want to. I like the way it looks. Okay, so remember I told y'all that the candles were going to be upside down on the opposite side, on the back side. So this is no, that's the back. I told y'all you can't really tell which one's the front and which one's the back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach this box down here on the bottom. Did I just turn that? I don't know. Did I? Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to put my adhesive on this section here. And I'm just going to use liquid glue so that I can slide it in place. You can use tear and tape if you want, but once you put it down with tear and tape, it's stuck. So I want to be able to slide it around and get it where I want it. And remember earlier when I said that you might want to make it a smidge smaller. Now you can see why I made it a smidge smaller. I wanted these edges to have a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, now we're going to see how it looks. And then we're going to add some more adhesive. Okay, so that's how it's going to look. And it fits. It's there. So now we want to seal the sides. So you're only going to put adhesive here and here. Okay? I'm going to do one side at a time. I'm just going to fold that up. And then I'm just going to lay this down and press and use my bone folder. Okay, there's that side. So now I'm going to do the same thing over here. So just bring that up and then lay it down and press. Okay, so now that's going to fold just like that. See? Pretty neat, isn't it? Now you can glue these if you want, but I know that most of y'all prefer that a box not get torn open, that it's resealable. So when I was playing earlier today, I was like, oh, I could use the little paper clip, but we're not doing that. That's just an option that I was looking at. So I'm going to take, since I'm stuck on this tulle ribbon, I didn't use it for like a whole year and a half, and now I'm using it like every day. But I don't know, it's just, I'm obsessed with it now. What can I say? So I'm going to take the two together. So what is this? I'm rambling. The Daffodil Delight. Root. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Anyway, I'm going to tie a bow. So I'm going to give myself plenty. So if you were making this for a dude, you could use the we have some black ribbon, we have some twine, we have the item that's in the Celebration catalog is on back order, the Bermuda Bay twine. Not the best looking bow I've ever made. Let's start over. I'm gonna stop talking. Let's see, I want this on the outside. Hold on. I'm going to start over completely. I'm going to explain what I'm doing. I want this to be on top of the daffodil, not the other way around. And I can't really articulate why I want it like that, except that I do. Somebody jinxed me. Y'all always say I do really good bows. I'm really good at bow tying, and now tonight I'm like, oh, what happened? It's because I'm trying to make this tulle ribbon go exactly where I want it. And it's not going to do that because it has a mind of its own. So I should just tie my bow and forget about trying to make it perfect. I spent more time making that bow than anything else. Okay. Oh, it looks good though. Okay, there's that part. Now we want to create our, I guess you call it focal point. So we're going to take our party hats, and he's going to get the pumpkin pie, and he's going to get the Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to slide my silicone mat over here, and we're going to put a little liquid glue on the top of his head. And then he is actually going to get one of the white ones, the pom-poms, the assorted pom-poms. So I'm going to go ahead and add the liquid glue up here at the top. Ooh, that was a little too much, but oh well. It dries clear. Okay, so we'll slide him over. And now we're going to work on this one. So same thing, going to put a little liquid glue on his head. I always add it crooked to the toucan. And then this one's going to get that daffodil pom-pom. You don't have to color it like I did, but I like the different colors. Okay, now we need dimensionals. So I'm going to turn these guys over. Let's start with him. He's had a little bit more time to dry. I'm going to put I know this seems like a lot, but I don't want him to be lopsided. Like if I only used a couple dimensionals, then when I place him on there, he's gonna, I don't know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying? He gets all crooked. So I have to be, like a lot of times I'll only use like one or two, but when you're working with these little pieces, you want them so that they don't collapse. Ruh-roh. My pom-pom wasn't dry. Okay. Okay, so we're going to add this to here, to the front. So I'm just going to turn that over and add some liquid glue. I can already tell that I think I like this pattern of paper better than the one I used for my sample. I'm going to add this with a glue dot. So I'm just going to get one. And it's just going to come out like that. Ah. Isn't that cute? Okay, so now our final step is we're going to add these little embellishments. Now, if you didn't get, or if you don't have any of the From My Heart faceted gems, you could always use, we have some other sequins that have a bunch of spring colors. So you don't have to use these. Since I have a bunch left over and they're white and it's a perfect opportunity to use my Stampin' Blends, since I love them so much. So I just need to get some glue now. And that one's going to go. Uh-oh. Grr. Stay. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I want another big one here. I'll go with the two smaller ones. I'm overanalyzing. And I need something to hold it down so that I don't pick it back up. There we go. It's almost like the birds dropping some food, but that's okay. They do that. They're very messy. I should know. Okay, so let me put the glue on, the cap, the top. Okay, so here's the one we just made. Very cute, isn't it? And here is my somewhat monochromatic one that I made earlier today. I definitely like this paper better. I originally was going to use this paper for an Easter project, but because the little guys back there showed, I was like, oh, I can't do it. It's got to be a birthday project. Oh, the clear container. Okay, so this clear container has been quite the conversation piece. I got this when I was a demonstrator for a jewelry company years and years and years ago. So I didn't purchase it. I had already purchased it. They went belly up. They don't no longer exist. But I searched and searched for this. I found I found one on Amazon and I ordered it. It's been a month and I still haven't received it. It still says it's going to arrive like the end of February, but it's on the slow boat from China, I guess. I don't know. So I went in search of it again and I found some on eBay, and it doesn't show like 2 months of shipping. It shows like, I think, a couple weeks. I have the link over on my website. If you just send me an email, I'll shoot you that link really quick. It is on eBay. I don't know who they are, but you know, on eBay, if you don't fulfill your orders, whatever, you'll get bad ratings. And whoever's selling these in China, they don't have a bad rating. So it just takes a little bit of time. But I have to tell you, I really, really, really like having my embellishments in this. I didn't know if I was going to like it, but I love it because today when I was creating this project, I just pulled this out. I'm like, okay, this is all the embellishments that we have that, you know, come in those round containers, not our rhinestones and stuff like that. So I really like that I have all of them in one container. Yeah, it works. I wish maybe I should buy a bunch of them and sell them myself. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm actually going to sign off now. I will see those of you that attend Coffee and a Card. I'll be here Wednesday morning. And if y'all need anything, let me know. Thank you.